Cincinnati police confirm Eric Johnson was also responsible for a third murder back in 2020.
Heartbreaking to those close to the family. That mother who was 38, a 19-year-old son who graduated from Roger Bacon High School, a 16-year-old who was a student at Purcell Marion, and according to students, a football player there. A tragedy today with a terrible tie to another one just a few months ago. The three who were found dead are Darlene Flores and her two sons, Eric Johnson Jr., known as E to his friends, and his younger brother Rodrigo, who they called Rod. Their deaths left relatives and friends dazed this morning. They came here to Canyon Drive in stunned disbelief.
This is like my second family, like really my second home. We come here every day after school. Like everybody knows that it's us. Like it's always just us together. So that was my second mom. Like this is my second family. We spent Christmas together. We had matching outfits. We took family pictures together. Like this was really like a second family.
Friends say they got a text message from Eric early today and became concerned.
He said he loved us. He said he missed his sister. That was the last thing we heard from him.
This is E and Rod with sister Isla at a much happier time. Last summer in Mount Healthy at age 6, she was shot dead by her father, who police say then turned the gun on himself. Friends say Eric was struggling with the effect of that terrible event.
He loved her more than anything. Like losing her it destroyed my boy deep down.
They say they were all together daily, as recently as last night, and that everything seemed to be okay.
Check on those people, because when you know somebody's hurting, you know, after a while people start to forget, but that pain is still with those people. So make sure you share your love. Check on the ones that you love.
Cincinnati police say each of the three had a gunshot wound, ruling it a double murder suicide, friends telling us it is something they never saw coming. Live in Avondale, John London, WRWT News 5.
As relatives say, this is the second tragedy this family has faced in recent months.
It's all unexpected. This whole situation is unexpected.
38-year-old Darlene Flores, 19-year-old Eric Johnson Jr., and 16-year-old Rodrigo Johnson were found dead by first responders in a home on the 3600 block of Canyon Drive at 5:30 a.m. Friday morning. According to police, officers were called to the scene for a potentially deceased person, but they instead found all three family members dead with a gunshot wound. Jatana Bush says the victims are her cousins.
It's devastating. Devastating. I can't even put the words together.
Family tells us this is related to an August incident where 40-year-old Eric Johnson and his daughter, 6-year-old Isla, were found dead with gunshot wounds in a Mount Healthy apartment bedroom after a custody dispute involving Isla led to a SWAT standoff. At the time, Bush told Fox 19's Mike Shell that she did not know what happened inside that apartment.
I don't know. Only him and God knows that.
But that her and other family members were in shock when they learned of Isla and Eric's deaths.
Out of the blue, we wouldn't imagine this in a million years. If you ask anyone off the streets, Eric was a phenomenal person. He also did a lot with the community, with his kids' sports teams. He's taken a lot of these guys off the streets into his home.
A heartbreaking tragedy with which Isla and Eric's families were still coping, according to those at Friday's scene.
Check on those people, because when you know somebody's hurting, you know, after a while, people start to forget, but that pain is still with those people. So make sure you share your love. Check on the ones that you love.
Again, the investigation's still ongoing, but anyone who knows anything about today's double murder-suicide is asked to call the Cincinnati Police Department's homicide unit using the number you see on your screen. From the Cincinnati Police Department, Candace Hare, Fox 19 Now.
Man, we back with another crazy story, man. Well, at first you thought the mother killed everybody, but then turn around, it was the 19-year-old son, Eric Johnson Jr., that shot his mother and killed his 16-year-old brother before turning the gun on himself. You know, he was still hurt from a 2020 incident where his stepfather had killed their little 6-year-old sister, you know what I'm saying, in a murder-suicide. So they was all still hurt from that, you know what I'm saying. And Buddy just snapped. He texted his friend, say he loved him, and he was sorry for, you know, what he did, you know. So he probably put the blame on his mama. You never know, over the custody battle with, you know, his little sister father. So, you know, it's just another crazy situation, man, where you don't know what people going through. Eric had a lot of potential. He had a bright future, you know. Bro just snapped, you know. Killed his mama, his brother, and then killed himself. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't fathom what the consequences that what he done. Or it's just another crazy situation about, you know, somebody going through something and, you know, they holding it in, not telling nobody, smiling, you know, when they're around people, but deep down they really hurting. And then, you know, they just snap, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it'd be pretty much over with, because I couldn't even fathom a 19-year-old, you know, shooting and killing his mama and his 16-year-old little brother, you know, somebody who look up to him, you know, and, you know, the mother who, you know, birthed him. So it's just another crazy situation, man, out of Cincinnati, man. Tragically hit home again, twice, you know, in another murder-suicide. So it's just a crazy situation, man, and what we going through, and, you know, the devil and the demons walking among us every day. You know what I'm saying? People doing stuff, you know, you can't explain, you know. And we in our last days, man. It's just another crazy situation where 3 people lost their life, you know, and we don't know what they was going through, what Eric had going on in his head, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a senseless crime, man. And, you know, prayers goes out to their family. You know, everybody was loved, you know. But let me know what y'all think about this story, man, this crazy story, man. Let me know what y'all think. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this, man. We out. Wow. And then to add on, you know, to the story, Eric Johnson Jr. left a note admitting that he killed an honor student that went to his high school in December 2020, allegedly now. He was going to college. He had a basketball scholarship. You know, he was lured in and killed. Car left running for like 12 hours with the lights on, you know, before somebody found him. But just now, in 2022, the end of 2022, they had Eric as a suspect. So, you know, he admitted to that after he killed his mama, his brother, and killing himself. But also with that, you know, he missed his sister. So, you know, everything happened. It's just tragic after tragic.
A murder-suicide investigation involving 3 family members in Avondale has now been connected to a third murder.
Yeah, today the coroner confirmed 19-year-old, the son, Eric Johnson Jr., killed his mother, Darlene Flores, and younger brother, Rodrigo, before dying by suicide. And breaking tonight, Cincinnati police confirm Eric Johnson was also responsible for a third murder back in 2020. Police found 18-year-old Sereno Foster dead inside a car on Canyon Drive in December of 2020, and they say they've closed the case now. A GoFundMe will help the family of the latest shooting pay for funeral expenses. You can find a link on our website, WLWT.com.